everyone, it's Dee. I hope you guys are doing well. I have a fun project to share with you guys today. This is going to be my vintage Christmas wreath. I spent most of the year collecting all of the little things that I use for this wreath at estate sales and garage sales. Actually, I didn't go to very many garage sales, mostly estate sales and thrift stores, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I did try to film most of it yesterday, but the lighting was really bad because it was quite stormy here, and but I did do some filming, so I will share that with you guys, and then we will come back and we can look at the wreath together. So the first thing that I had to do was get my wreath and the tinsel garland that I used. You can see the wreath was actually left over from a project that I had done that didn't turn out, but that didn't matter because it was going to get covered up. So I put a dab of glue down and I started wrapping it and quickly realized that it wasn't going to work because it kept getting tangled. So what I had to do was completely take the garland off of the cardboard piece that it was on and then start wrapping it, which made things go a lot better. So you can see there that I took all of the garland off and then I started wrapping it again. And it was still a little tricky because I had to completely pull the garland in every time, and it was kind of a long garland. And my intentions were to use actually two garlands, but I actually didn't even use up all of of this one, and I just cut the rest of the remaining and saved it for a different project. So I just kept wrapping and then put a dab of glue every now and then to make sure that it's secure. And yeah, so that's what I'm doing. And I did get burnt with my high temp glue gun. I did use a high temp glue gun because I wanted to make sure that the project was secure, but with that comes, the chances of you getting burnt, which did happen. And I got some glue on my hand and I tried to get rid of it right away, which I shouldn't have done because it took some of the skin along with it. So that was not fun. So if you guys end up using a high temp glue gun, just be extremely careful and go slow. This is probably the most tedious and maybe not fun of this project. The putting on the ornaments was probably the most fun part, but we needed to get this base done before we could do that. So I'm just securing the last bit of garland here. I put down a dab of glue and I'm going to be doing the hanger part of it, which I use some wire for. So I wanted to make sure that the garland wouldn't unravel. So I'm just using a pair of scissors there to make sure that it stayed. And I got this, I believe it was 18 gauge wire. I got it from Hobby Lobby in the jewelry section. And what I did was I wrapped it around a couple of times, maybe 5 or 6 times. And then I went ahead and made a little hanger part, which is just a loop. And you'll see it here in a second. And I just made sure to go enough times to where I felt like it was secure. And then I'm making a little hanger there. And then I went in the opposite direction and wrapped it around a few more times. So I did see someone else do this on a wreath project that they were doing. I did watch a couple of videos on YouTube before I attempted this because I wanted to make sure that, I had all the right tools and such. And so I'm adjusting that loop there, and then I'm making sure that it doesn't come down. And you're not really going to see this part because it's going to be covered, but I wanted to make sure that it would be hanging correctly. So I used a pair of not very good pliers there to cut the wire, and then I'm going to be I just actually pushed the end of that wire into the wreath. It was, since it's foam, it worked out really well. So this is the fun part, gathering all of the ornaments that you have collected to make this wreath. That bagged ones, I think I picked up at an estate sale. This box one here, I think might have been from Goodwill actually. And I think this box was actually also from an estate sale. So I just kind of tried to gather different colors and different sizes. Here are some smaller ones that I use to fill out the gaps. So the next thing you want to do is pull out the toppers and save those to the side and arrange how you want your ornaments to go on the outside before you glue them down. So here you can see that I arranged them how I wanted them and glued them on the outside. And I will show you what it looks like here. I hung it up on the wreath hanger to see if it'll lay flat, and it did. So in hindsight, I probably should have done the inner ring next, but I went ahead and picked out the ornaments that I wanted to go on the top. And I would probably not recommend this. I would recommend doing the outside bulbs first and then do the inside and then do the ones of interest next. So here you can see I did the outside ring, the inside ring, and then I'm starting to add the ones that have more designs and patterns on it next. So I'm just showing you guys what that looks like at this point. So you can see here that it is mostly done, but I did notice there were a few gaps here and there, so I went ahead and gathered some smaller things to add, and when you see it in the next slide, it will be complete. Okay, so here is the finished product. I will zoom back a bit so you guys can get the whole picture. For the centerpiece here, I picked a vintage plastic angel that I think I found at an estate sale. We have a little plastic deer here, and then we just have a variety of ornaments that I picked out. For the ones that are up front, I left the toppers on, but for the ones that are on the inside and the outer rim, I did take them out, and I will save them. I do find broken ornaments from time to time, or the ones that I'm missing the toppers, so I save those toppers. This is a glitter putz house that I had found at an estate sale. I think this one is made in Czechoslovakia. Some of the other ones are made in Germany and Japan. It was kind of hard going through my ornaments trying to decide which ones to pick because you know, I did hot glue them, so they are permanent, and you know, I had to sort of wrestle with which ones should I pick to glue on. But I think overall I'm sort of happy with how this turned out. This is my first attempt at this type of wreath, and I do have a few ornaments left over, but I don't think I have enough to make something this size. So I think if I were to make, if I were to make another one, I would probably have to get a smaller wreath foam. It did take more ornaments than I thought it would, so I'm glad that I did have a good collection of them. So that is the wreath. Let me know what you guys thought about it down below. I definitely had a lot of fun making it, and I do have a couple other Christmas projects in mind, but I'm not sure if it'll end up happening since we're so close to Christmas now. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful holiday season. If you like this video, hope you'll give it a thumbs up, and please leave me a comment down below or a question about the wreath. I'll be happy to answer them. And other than that, that is it. I will see you in the next video.